So today we have to go over a tragic story that is making headlines in the cruise news space and causing a lot of, I want to say, somewhat controversial conversations to be had when it comes to cruise ships and casinos. Nevertheless, as sad as this story is, I do have to admit that this is probably the biggest example of a lack of accountability that I have seen thus far here in 2024, at least in the cruise ship space. So the way all this went down, there was a 50-year-old man from Australia by the name of Shane Dixon. He's got 3 kids, and apparently recently he had lost a brother as well as his father. This may be important information to keep in mind later on. With all the stresses going on, Shane decided to scrounge up some money and take his mom on a cruise on board the P&O Adventure. For those that don't know, P&O is part of the Carnival Corporation. There's P&O and then there's P&O Australia. Now this is where things start to get interesting and take, I want to say, a dark turn. While on board, Shane decided that he was going to go to the casino. Apparently when he got there, he was tempted in, I believe it was like $750 of onboard spend at the casino. He decided to go over there. While he was there one night, he ended up racking a whopping $5,000 tab over at the, you call it a tab at the casino? But anyway, he ended up spending $5,000 over at the casino. That's what was due in his account that he had to pay up. He didn't have the money, so he went to his mom, and she ended up paying that $5,000 tab over at the casino. The next night, he ended up going and spending $4,000 at the casino, totaling to, you guessed it, $9,000 of a casino bill. It is believed at this point in time by Shane's family that eventually, after he racked up, once again, that $4,000 casino bill, he started to come to his senses as reality would start to hit, due to Australia having extremely strict regulations on casinos. As the ship was heading back to Australian waters, they would shut down the casino. He couldn't play anymore, and now he realizes that he has to pay this tab. Apparently, during this process, his bank ended up blocking his account. He didn't want to go back to his mom to ask her to once again pay thousands of dollars of a casino bill that he decided to rack up on his own accord, and he ended up jumping off of the cruise ship, and at this point in time he is believed to have passed away. So first of all, my sincere condolences do go out to the friends, family, and loved ones of Shane Dixon, aka Boots. Apparently he was a country lover and Boots was his nickname. Now this is where the story takes a very interesting turn, because the family is not satisfied with what had happened. They actually blame P&O and the cruise lines out there that are sailing over in Australia as being predatory. You remember when I told you that casinos over in Australia, there are a lot of regulations, a lot of restrictions, a lot of rules of what you can and can't do? Apparently, or at least it appears, the family is trying to blame P&O for what happened. The fact that Shane Dixon ended up racking up thousands of dollars of a casino bill. Now, while there is some merit to that, because yes, I'm on a cruise ship right now, and I can tell you right now, if you are into casinos and the cruise lines find out that you're into casinos or gambling, yeah, they are going to try to tempt and lure you in order to play at said casinos. However, let's be clear, this is not something that is exclusive only to cruise lines. This happens everywhere. Go to Las Vegas, even in my hometown over in Tampa, Florida. You go over to Hard Rock, they're gonna start throwing you all kinds of deals and drinks and everything else under the sun, suites and rooms, and even if you go with Hard Rock, they're advertising Royal Caribbean cruises right now. It's kind of like a little reverse type deal going on over there. It happens. But to say that, oh, well, this man, unfortunately, yes, and again, as sad as it is, took his life because the cruise lines were being predatory toward him, I don't think there is a lot of merit to that. The only reason that they're saying this, well, there are two. They're stating that once you're on board, you can't just go and see how much money you're spending at the casino. It just goes up and up and up and up, and then you're expected to just pay it at some point, which, by the way, there are options. Even if you can't pay or you have an issue with your account, you can make an arrangement with the cruise lines to pay it even once you get off the ship. However, I'm not going to dive too much into that. But the deal is that when it comes to casinos and that space and gambling over in Australia, you can't be predatory in the sense of, well, advertising to somebody in order to tempt them on the ship. Like, you know, if you are in the States and you have gone to the casino once or twice on a cruise, you're going to start getting deals and letters and emails about offers that they want to give you in order for you to get on the ship. You can't do that over in Australia, and that is where they're saying the problem is. While all that is technically true, we can go over the morality of it all as much as we want as well. There are a couple things that we also have to look at. First of all, there's a reason why the cruise lines go out and sail to the middle of the ocean, because there is a different set of laws. There's maritime law, and then there's international waters and all that jazz. You get the idea. Secondly, I understand, I sympathize with the idea of, let's say, people being advertised to for gambling, especially if, like I said at the beginning of the video, they they have an addictive personality. I do. That's why I do not gamble. I'm not trying to get caught up in any of that. I don't want the smoke over at the casino, don't want to do it. I would still think that people, adults, should understand how addictive gambling is. It is something that is well publicized. It is something that is well known. For those of you that don't know, if you look at the back end of Las Vegas, all the stories are out there. The amount of people that go to Las Vegas and put up their life savings and then lose all of that money, or lose ridiculous amounts of money and then go to the parking garage and self-delete themselves. I'm not saying it happens all the time. However, if you've been to Vegas and you've heard these stories, you can look it up yourself. Go ahead and Google it. It does happen a lot. As unfortunate as these stories and situations are, if somebody decided, a fully grown adult decided with their own will, their own body, their own mind, their own money to go to a casino and spend all of their money at the casino, it's very rare that if somebody were to sue the casino for them losing all their money at the casino, that they're going to win that case. It's just not going to happen. You can look at that from any other direction. Let's say back on the ship. Yes, drinks are getting advertised to you. The drink package is getting advertised to you. However, if you end up drinking too much and get alcohol poisoning and have to get your stomach pumped, are you going to be airlifted off the cruise ship, go back to the hospital, and once you're all fine and dandy again, go back and sue the cruise lines because they gave you as many drinks as you wanted because you paid for it? Personally, I don't think that's how it works. Look at the pharmaceutical space. It is more or less in a similar category. Did you know that globally there are only 2 countries that you're allowed to have pharmaceutical drugs advertised to you or to the general public? That's the United States and New Zealand. That being said, we can go over once again the morality of it all, if it should be done or people should allow it. However, just because somebody gets, let's say, hooked on some type of drug, whether it's the Xannies or the Oxys, what have you, can you then go back and blame the pharmaceutical companies when we all know that things like drugs and alcohol and everything in between that is possibly not good for you can also be addictive? Obviously, I'm also talking about the stuff that is right there in front of you that we all know is not good for you. Smoking, gambling, drinking, not the stuff that's kind of like tucked away in plain sight and food ingredients and stuff of that nature. You get my idea. However, what I'm trying to say here is that this situation, as sad as it is, as tragic as it is, can this family turn around and blame the cruise lines for being predatory? I don't think there's any merit for that. Maybe because of how the law is over in Australia, they might have a case, but who knows? I'm just looking at it from a general perspective. It's crazy to believe that you have people that are racking up thousands of dollars in a casino and then trying to blame the casino or the company involved. It just doesn't make sense. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you don't have any casino deals and you still want to jump on a cruise, make sure you check out my travel agent partners and my sponsors over at Lux Rally. Link in the description box below as well as pinned in the comments. They'll be sure to get you the cruise of a lifetime. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.